Goths don't do things much differently than the rest of the world does. Our pets still have bladders that require constant maintenance. Here I am taking my dog outside to use the bathroom. And of course, here I am praising him for using his bladder outdoors and not inside on the carpet.
Good pee!
And sometimes, because our dogs are just weird, they like to pee right on the sidewalk.
Clean that up.
And like good neighbors, we have to wash it away with soap and water so that our neighbors don't have to step in the urine puddles that our pets have left behind. Salmonella does not care about subcultural affiliation. If you don't wash your dishes, you're going to be peeing out of your ass.
Last thing that's touched was a watermelon, not a human body. Where's your mind?
Just like everyone else, we get frustrated and argue with inanimate objects.
Okay, Google, play Lycia.
Okay, here's Lycia on Spotify.
Lycia. Okay, Google, stop. Okay, Google, play Lycia.
Playing Lycia on Spotify.
No. Okay, Google, stop. Okay, Google, play band spelled Lycia.
Alright, playing Lycia on Spotify.
Lycia. Okay, Lycia. Okay, Google, play Lycia.
Alright, Lycia by Peter Waldman. Playing
Who?
on Spotify.
Okay, Google, stop. Fuck this.
I've been a goth since I was about 14 years old, so given the fact that I'm pretty much pushing 40 at this point, you could say that I've been a goth for a good minute. And over the years, I have gotten so many questions and comments from people that are outside the subculture about myself, about the scene, and how we live our life, and they are the weirdest questions. And what has become abundantly clear is that the way that people outside the scene see goths is they kind of believe that we exist and live our day-to-day on this completely separate plane than the rest of the world does, and that just could not be further from the truth. I thought I would go over some of those questions and kind of respond to them, and I'm not sure if I responded to the questions the exact same way when I received them, because sometimes you're just so caught off guard that you react in a certain way when you're just like, no. A guy once asked me, what do you do for fun? So do you like put on a wedding dress and go to a bar and spin around? As if to say that should a goth find themselves outside of their regular habitat and amongst the normal folk, that we must act like a complete lunatic just so that those around us know we're different. No. I don't know if you could hear the fireworks going off outside, and you would think 2 days after Independence Day that they would have run out by now, but apparently not. But I'm going to press on and hope that you can't hear that. My dog sure as hell can, because he's hiding right now, poor guy. But what I wanted to sort of reiterate is that we have goth-themed events. We have clubs, shows, we have our own goth bars, we have tons of different meetups. There's goth mother meetups where moms can get together with their children, without their children, and meet up with other goth mothers. You have picnics. There are so many different things. Festivals. However, that being said, we don't necessarily only do goth things. And that's something that I think is a little bit of a stereotype, that we will only do things that goths do. It has to be a goth event. And that's not true. You'll find us at a regular bar. You'll find us at the movie theater. You'll find us at the mall. We don't do things much differently than everyone else. We do have to go to the grocery store. We buy our food somewhere. And I assure you that when we go and do these things amongst the normal folk, we don't have to act in a certain way to let you know that, hey, the weirdos are here. We know good and damn well what we look like when we walked out that front door. You best believe we got mirrors in our house and we double checked before we left, but what's important to be said is that we did not do this for you. And I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but it is a common misconception that this whole thing is done for attention when it couldn't be furthest from the truth. It's, in actuality, it's the way that we choose to look. This is a preference. This is something that we feel comfortable in our own skin wearing. And just as you have a pair of jeans, or maybe a polo neck, or just something that you wear that you have that connection to, that you feel comfortable in, we can have that same connection to our bat necklace, a hat, a pair of boots. So whereas we might have these connections to different articles of clothing, in the end they're all just clothes. And our look is very much intrinsic to who we are and our personality, just as your look is to yours. I had a friend from work come over once, and we're stood in my kitchen and I'm making tea and I'm going through my cabinets as we're talking, and I'm getting things like plates, I'm getting cookies, crackers, that kind of thing, like nibbles and stuff, as you know, we're kind of having a little bit of a chat, and I'm watching her become increasingly like bewildered. And finally I'm like, what's wrong with you right now? And she said, no, I guess I didn't expect you to have food like this here. Food like what? And she just kind of goes on, she's like, you're like, do the goth thing, and I guess I didn't expect you to eat like normal things. What the hell did she think that we ate? So I have things in my kitchen, things like from Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's, and it's just like normal stuff. I guess she didn't expect to see a varied collection of tea, varying biscuits, cookies, different kinds of cheese. Yes, goths eat cheese, provided they're not vegan or lactose intolerant. And she was just really surprised to see that. Now, I'm a person who loves to cook. I love to bake. I literally just made a lemon coconut cake. I want to show you my cake. So it's definitely seen better days since yesterday when I made it, and it was nicely cut. But this is a lemon coconut cake that I made from scratch because I love to bake, I love to cook, and yes, goths eat normal food. And yes, it is homemade lemon curd in the center, by the way, because that's how I roll in life. I take gummy vitamins because they taste better. And also, these ones in particular, for whatever reason, they don't make me feel sick. I had the other ones that had, they were loaded with iron, and I got so sick from them. So, these are the ones that I take. I have to take 2 a day. They're prenatals, but even if they weren't prenatal, I would still be taking the gummy vitamin because I feel like I'm being bad and eating candy, but I'm really not, but I am. I have to get more. I just took the last of them. Although it may not always look that way, we are of the same species and physiologically no different. I am no different than my neighbor. I need to eat, sleep, breathe, and I need to do all of the things in life that everybody else needs to do in order to maintain these normal functions. I need to go to the grocery store. I need to wash my clothes. I can't just take my clothes and sprinkle magic goth dust on it and magically poof, they're clean like some chinchilla in a dust bath. No, I have a washing machine. And like any normal person, I was excited when I moved into an apartment and found out that I have a washing machine. I don't have to go to the freaking laundromat because I hate the laundromat. Sidebar. But I think everybody hates the laundromat. As far as my appearance, I never really caught flack for the way that I looked with my family. I think for the most part, they always really found it amusing. But it wasn't until I started nearing the end of high school and I got a small handful of comments, but one that stuck out to me was my aunt. And I remember we're having this big family dinner. We used to have Sunday dinners, and if you're Italian, you always have the sauce. You always have the sauce with the meatballs and the sausage and the macaroni and all the things. So we're all at the table, and my aunt says to me, she said, if you ever want to get taken seriously in life and not be a bum, they're not even going to hire you at McDonald's if you're going to look like a vampire like that for the rest of your life. I was like, holy shit, way to take the wind out of somebody's sails. But by that point, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I had to do something, and I had that sort of pipe dream where I wanted to be an actress, and that's what I wanted out of life. But I knew that it was a pipe dream, and I knew, they always say don't quit your day job, but I didn't know what it was I wanted to fall back on. Now, I had my hobbies. I was always very creatively inclined, and in the end, I ended up falling back on skincare, and luckily, with skincare, I can really look the way that I want, but the way that I look doesn't negate my intelligence, doesn't negate my ability, and it certainly doesn't affect the way that I provide treatment. You should never ever judge a book by its cover. And this should always be known. This is instilled in us since birth, since we're a little kid. Never judge a book by its cover. Wait till they open their mouth and then decide whether or not they're an asshole. I've seen people in head-to-toe Abercrombie button-downs and khakis and be absolute dregs of society. So who's to say that they're any better than me simply because I happen to wear black lipstick? Stupid does not have a uniform, so it's really important that we take note of the person, their capabilities, and their personality, as opposed to just judging a book by its cover. Never do that. And as far as that judgment is concerned, I've seen the same with goth, because there is a big preconceived notion that we're of this hive mind, and we all share a brain, and that could not be further from the truth, because we are so different from one another. We have different religious views, different political views, we come from different cultural backgrounds, we have different beliefs. We lead entirely different lives from one another, and the only thing that we share is the fact that we share a similar aesthetic, and we all listen to goth music in some form or another. We are very much unique and individual in our own right.